Get that link again because I don't remember.
What's going on, everybody? CaptainRoBear and crew here for Galaadluuran, episode 8. Welcome.
We
There
made
you
it.
go.
Nothing.
What's up, everybody? What have you all been up to tonight?
What's great is when everybody makes the inside joke that we've been working on tech support for an hour, most of them are like, I don't
What else is new?
understand. But we are here.
Don't
We
worry.
have persevered, and you will see the Riddler dice, by God, but we can't get rid of it. So enjoy it for this evening. We're happy to be back, and we totally haven't been here for an hour and a half trying to fix this wonderful question mark die. But don't worry about it. We're here. We're gonna get some D&D in for the night. Oh, don't you yawn yet. Don't you yawn just yet. My God, I'm going full Clark Griswold on this episode of D&D.
Oh wait, hold on. We can fix that. This is going to be a dicey little game. I've gotten Alani new. I can mainline. What is this? 200 milligrams of caffeine. I've got my sleep meds in front of me. This will be perfect.
Corey's fine.
If you guys
Everything's
don't
fine.
hear from
Great.
me
It's all
tomorrow,
great.
I did in fact have a heart attack.
Thank you guys. Thanks for everybody putting up with us while we play tech support trying to fix our wonderful rollable dice. We're going to jump right into it. No extra announcements just yet. Stay tuned. Tomorrow there will be a whole slate that goes up for the next 2 weeks. So stay tuned. We have plenty to talk about tomorrow, but we need to pick up where we left off the last time we got to play post-Frostfall martial combat. With Sayun finally exercising dice ghosts to the past, when he could have probably used a handful of those question mark dice, he succeeded in vanquishing the Gorilla King and simultaneously exiting the tournament by sparing one of the gorillas. We pick back up amidst the Frostfall still. However, we're going to pick up multiple weeks in. I need everyone to roll a fortitude saving throw. Look at that nat 20.
Wow.
Got a nat 20, a 26, a 27, a 27, a 16, and an 18. Mara. Waking back up at the Silver Vale. 2 weeks post-combat. You guys have all gotten a very sufficient long rest. Any errands that you've wanted to run in settling down in your new Galaadluuran digs, you've been able to. Actually being away from the party for a significant time in your own quarters has been refreshing. However, today is a day to reconvene. as it has been marked on the calendars for some time, that Galaadluuran inside of the winter solstice officially merges into its new city, teleporting next to a new plane. Any preparations by yourself before you go and check on the rest of the party?
And I think one thing that Mara would be doing, since she's had this time, is she'd gone out into the city on her own, trying to see if she could get bits of information, since she's on her own kind of search. So she's kind of just trying to organize notes, just reading through information reports, writing down bits of memories that she overheard. But she's really focusing on trying to pull these bone spikes out of the ends of her arms and to have them come back over her body like talons. As she had, she really has kind of beefed herself up. So she's just trying to learn, especially after being disappointed with having missed some key hits, just trying to get more confident in her larger and stronger body. So you see a lot of that slow, methodical axe swinging as she's trying to also use her physical changed body, just trying to become a lot more comfortable and more fluid in her movement. So it's a lot of just kind of mental work and physical preparedness, enjoying the quiet, and sometimes hotel staff.
And sometimes hotel staff. I love that. You've been able to find yourself a proper training routine. It's like discovering how to use the home gym at the Silver Vale.
Yes, oh God, yes.
Between your connections between other mercenaries, you've been able to piece together a routine essentially in exile, especially during the Frostfall. In this winter solstice, where so many others had been driven inside and the sloth begins to set in, you've gotten your own hot orc winter montage of equipment that you've been able to use, and also just general training course. Today, I made that weather check. It is a 2. It is an incredible blizzard outside the Great Tree. Hearths are in overtime right now, as every fireplace is stoked and visibility is low as you stare out the windows from the Great Tree and see just the accumulation. You know that somewhere out there you are teleporting from its space inside the Fae into a new material plane. Sayun.
Sayun's been very introspective over the past couple weeks, not having to dictate his life being second best anymore. Knowing that he could have kept winning, but he realized there's more to his existence than winning a tournament, and it doesn't define him. He thinks back to that moment whenever he draped that cape around the new king. Kazul presenting the actual scepter to Sayun, and Sayun just turned around and giving that to the gorilla as well. You find him sitting in the middle of his room. The bow staff, back in its branch form, opened up in the cloth, and his hands and knees are on a pillow in front of it as he's in deep meditation. And he's picturing himself on the mountain, speaking to Ragda in person. Well, I did it. I get it now. I never had a win. I was always a winner. I may not be reborn, and it is a very good calling for any Vanara, but I'm proud to be your vessel for when you need me. And Ragda nods his head at him and gives him a wink. What was that for? And then he snaps out of his meditation. Huh. I wonder what he wanted. And as Sayun looks around, wow, my candles are really bright today. And he notices all of his candles are out, but the room's bright. What? And then he hears Ragda's voice. Kelwraith told you to use it. And he looks up. And he has his own halo now. That he can turn on and off just like his brethren with a fellow ASMR background. Even though he's only partial and not full. He's fully accepted being a vessel for Ragda. Thanks, big guy. And you just see the halo pop off and disappear. Oh, I should have turned the lights on first. As he trips, heading towards the door.
What does this figurative halo look like? As it is not the same.
It's not the same at all. It's more of just a bright light that surrounds him. It's not the regular circle. It's like whenever you see a painting of one of the saints and there's just a light behind their head, but no form. It just encompasses them. It's almost like Bruce Leroy from The Last Dragon. He glows.
More of an aura than anything else.
Absolutely.
Sayun, you also see about to sneeze. Just like stuck right there.
Look at a light.
Thing. Yeah, look at the light.
The change of season is strong and the blizzard pouring down outside. The frostfall was only the beginning. And the change of locations is starting to unfold. Being the first time inside the actual city as it changes location within the world. You can feel that bone-chilling cold as all the hearths have been stoked inside the Silver Vale. You stare out into the blizzard, waiting to see what it's going to look like around the great tree with wherever we're headed. Caleb, waking back up at the Silver Vale 2 weeks after martial combat.
Caleb's waking up for he spent being the businessman he is, he spent most of the 2 weeks since the combat practicing his potion making and trying to hawk as many potions to the locals that he could. some of the crafting went well. If you look closely, his mustache a little singed on one side. Some of it didn't go so well. But he's just been focused on trying to make some gold.
Go ahead and give me societal or survival check.
Nailed it.
On brand.
On
It appears our word
brand.
has gotten out.
It tracks. You should have gotten your business license, buddy. They told you right at the start.
I've probably pulled a fast one on a few too many of the wrong people. Word's getting out.
It's been a rough 2 weeks. Somehow they found your residence, and several individuals have been requesting refunds. The rest of you have noticed the string of individuals at the lobby continually complaining, trying to seek out this merchant Caleb. Some has gone so far as to actually breaking into the elevator and getting up to Caleb's door, as it's a constant rapping. I know you're in there, goddammit! Show yourself! You know this thing doesn't work! I was a good carrot! Continual rappings at the door. Kelwraith, it's been unsettling. But you two have woken up into the blizzard 2 weeks post martial combat. Well rested, what have you been up to?
Kelwraith is in his normal platinum and gold trimmed attire, and he's walking out of his room, and as he passes Sayun's room, he slows down for a second. He can almost make out like a glow coming from underneath the door frame, like the lights are on brighter than normal. And he's gonna stop for a second, and he just puts his hand up against the warm wood of the door. He just nods and looks up, and then he's gonna briskly walk away, smiling as he makes his way down to the chapel. And when he gets there, he's gonna pull out this old book, and it's locked, and it's not a key lock, it's got just an arcane lock across the book itself. And he's gonna fold his hands over top and bow his head, and that lock starts to glow and just pops open. He's gonna just start reading through this old religious scripture that he had. Then after that, says his prayers and closes the book. And instead of returning to his room this time, he goes to another room. It almost looks like a workshop of some sort where people practice their skills, and he's actually going to open a different book, and it's all just archaic medical formula. And he's going to sit down, and he's going to open up his healer kit and take out his different bandages and salves, and you're just going to see his hands moving at a ridiculously fast speed as he practiced suturing on a potato. Over and over and over. He pricks himself in the finger once. And he's going to take it back out and he's going to start over again on a new potato.
Kumo.
Yeah.
2 weeks post martial combat. Well rested and plenty of time to check over your gear. How does the morning find you?
For the past 2 weeks, no one's really seen Kumo. He's just been locked in his room. And what you've been hearing is like this almost, I would say, Mogwai-esque humming coming from the room. Just as he has been trying to talk to his rifle after hearing the rifle call out to him. He kind of emerges from the room and you just see him very tired looking. Just bags under his eyes and just disappointed and disheartened as he hasn't been successful in reaching that communication that he'd hoped to. So as Kumo exits his room, he won't actually be carrying his rifle with him. It'll be staying in his room. And he just kind of leaves his door open. And if you look in there, the entire room is coated in webbing. It almost looks like a spider's trap net, one of those trap spiders. It's just web all the way from the entrance all the way back.
Bet the maids love you.
Oh, no one's come in. Every time a maid has come to the door, they've opened the door and you just see the big beady eyes of Kumo in spider form, because he's been completely in spider form the entire time for 2 weeks. People have opened the door and you just see Kumo, it just eyes in the back of the hole from the door. They just shut the door and they walk away.
I don't blame them.
But when Kumo comes out, his collar will be popped up. He's definitely feeling chilly. His mustache is all drooped to his side and like hugging his face. His hair is grown out and kind of like coming down over his ears to cover the tops of his ears to keep them warm. Definitely looks like 6 months almost have passed for him, but
In your hermitage, you've noticed that Kazul's room has been vacant for almost a week now. Go ahead and roll. In this case, there's nothing good. Go ahead and give me a society, Kumo.
Bear with me.
What happens when you've been in a room just covered in white stuff for 2 weeks?
Dice are still broken. What are you talking about? Those are just funny looking question marks.
These are death dice right now. Severe death dice.
I'm sending him to Kumo's room for a refund.
I did.
You can't recall what Kazul was talking about and what did he need to leave for. But he's gone somewhere. But even for a week. As folks were set to reconvene at the Luna 2 weeks later, the last place the entire party gathered before you entered into martial combat. But with a nat 1, you'll assume that Kazul knows what he's doing.
He's got it together. We've got over the basic books before he left. He should be fine.
With my nat 20, Ezra has been anywhere but home. As the city prepares for its own transition, the man about town has been anywhere but dwelling in his own domicile. A constant in and out of committee meetings, small happy hours, and general reading the room. He's set to hold the table back for the rest of the group at the Luna. With you all finishing your morning routines, it's time to head back where you were last gathered. Being accustomed with everything decorated for the winter solstice now, you guys all meet back up in the main lobby to head towards the elevator. Eventually, the entire party arriving. And the large door opening up and the bits of small talk before you hop on and begin to take that long ride to the top of the great tree. You can faintly begin to hear music coming from the Luna again.
Hey everyone, where's Kazul?
He had to go somewhere. We read a book, and he was getting ready to go somewhere.
He read?
Well, I mean, I read it to him, and I repeated the words so he could help learn them. But we were working.
That's
on
cool.
it.
No, I wish he was here. I'd high five him.
He's doing really good.
Sayun looks over at Mara. Wow. You got way more muscular.
Generally was working out the entire 2 weeks that we weren't together. But
Look
thank
at them.
you.
Altoids.
I mean, have you seen traps like this on a woman before? Like, you could bounce gold pieces off them.
Sayun, pokes it to see how firm it is. Wow. You have to teach me your regimen.
I really do. I should have probably worked with you over the past 2 weeks. That is my fault. So...
It's okay. I was talking to Ragda a lot, and there was a lot of food from room service. I'm so glad they cleaned my room.
It's bulking season. This is the perfect time for it.
As Sayun feels a chill go. Ugh. I know Ragda said don't abuse it, but that was cold. And his warm glow shows up. Oh, yeah. I can do that now.
Is that not one of Caleb's potions? That's natural?
As his eyes dart over towards Kelwraith. Kelwraith, how you doing? And he makes it fade away real quick.
Good friend. It's good to see you in high spirits again.
He just smiles back.
And Caleb, what is this I hear? Quite a few complaints from the marketplace last I visited.
No, I think I'm just having difficulty getting any quality ingredients. I know it's not my fault, it's the ingredients' fault for sure. Or they don't know that they're using them wrong. I don't know. No refunds. That's my policy. Do you need anything?
Not from you. I'm okay.
Remember that.
Oh,
I don't
thank
mean it in a
the
bad way,
gods,
but-
you all were finally here. As
Hi,
Edra,
Ezra.
The man himself.
thought I was going to be holding this seat for hours now. Oh, the transition never... It's the same. Oh, it's always so brittle. Oh.
Fiber usually helps with that.
Sam, one tournament win will not change my opinion of your over-chippedness or your ignorance to know exactly what I'm talking about. But please, welcome. The transition from Frostfall into Yule has begun. I'm going to assume that no one has ventured in to the plane of ice and giants before, have you?
Not say I have.
Well, we're moving from the Fae to another ancient city. Soon we will merge into Kavayak. Assume that Caleb, a merchant like yourself, will maybe be able to find some new ingredients before completely ruining your reputation.
Well, I mean, probably be new customers too, so.
Ah, yes. I am assuming that you have a plan to pull one over the ice giants and the walrus folk?
I'm not that kind of merchant. I'm not trying to rip them off. My potions work most of the time.
You are far from most of the time. You literally have a waiting line inside the lobby now. The Silver Veil has to deal with your bullshit at this point. Had our leases not been in Theros Galarum's name, they might have actually already booted you.
I'm not even sure that they're my potions that they're complaining about. There's no receipts.
Well, of course not. They only know your face and exactly where you live. Please, let it not ruin the mulled wine. We have at least 4 more weeks until... Oh, no. Looking down, he pulls his calendar out. A solid 3 weeks before Yule. Might as well get yourself comfortable.
Mara, did you hear that? Giants.
People? Oh, yes.
Oh,
You know, surprisingly,
I've never met them.
I've met some in my travels, but surprisingly, I don't share a heritage with them outside from just being large and extremely capable.
I hear they're really strong.
Oh yeah. In a different way from your
multiple
kind.
potions.
What, Caleb?
Here, the giants are so big that they need multiple potions to achieve a normal effect. So they'll have to buy 3 or 4 or 5.
You might want to consider taking your name off the label.
I think that's one of the reasons that he's not been talking very loud, because he doesn't want people to find him.
Exactly. He's a bit muffled. A little far away.
Caleb, I
get it,
would
though.
caution that if you swindle a giant, he's not going to merely knock on your door. He's going to knock in your door.
Or turn you into a human pancake. Like, there's not going to be... You might be able to scrape what's remaining of you into a vial.
Oh, I'll keep that in mind.
At least we have a change of scenery to get our minds off the fact that we're all de facto owned by Galaadluuran. I'll be dead honest, I haven't been really thinking about it with the change of seasons here. It's time to be festive again. Thankfully, not be pulled into mortal combat at the top of it.
Thank you guys for that, by the way.
No,
And Ezra,
Blood Bowl.
I know I get on your nerves, but you motivated me. I didn't really get to tell you that, since we've all been just kind of doing our own things ever since then. So, thank you.
You did well, Sayun.
As he slaps Mara's arm. He's so cool.
It was a departure from what we've seen.
And there it is.
After all, if we're all being pulled into something, I'm glad we performed. And maybe you will live up to your prowess someday. There'll be new challenges, my friend. Even hardier folk set sail now as we merge into that plane of ice. It will be a long time before spring. Hope you're comfortable with, shall we say, a bit more pragmatic of individuals as the doors swing open and there is just a flood of northern barbarous individuals, just complete full hides. It's a mixture of both human and walrus folk at once, all fading into this area. You can also hear heavy footsteps coming from the Great Hall that you've been in before. Well, we know that the giants have arrived, as well as the rest of the northerners. As the Luna begins to fill up, even taking on a posturing of a different style of music as you've heard it fade in. There will be new opportunities. I suggest you take advantage of them. Not everyone gets to stay inside Galaadluuran to experience the changing of the guard. You can even see that the Galaadluuran green and gold from the guards, they're dressed in a hardier set of armor with a little bit more winterization. The Canadian tuxedo of Fey Towns is now complete.
I will say, if anyone does get cold, this hot chocolate that they mix with this bourbon cream, it's outstanding here.
I'll stick with my mulled wine. But
It doesn't miss.
no. But so does the entire leadership change?
Of course not.
Okay.
Just additions to the council for the new city.
Makes sense.
You'll have an opportunity to meet plenty of folk from Kiel Kavaiak. Mara, I think they'll be right up your alley.
The location of the people.
Both, actually. Hardier, no bullshit kind of individuals.
Thank you.
And good luck to you, Caleb. There's a little bit more of a leniency inside the Fae for room for error. I would suggest you bring your A game for the men and women of the North. That leniency doesn't quite exactly extend both ways.
As Sayun's just chewing on a piece of brisket. You hear that, Mara? These people have stamina. I know you were complaining about your elven boy the other day.
I mean, the size does tend to matter sometimes. I mean, I tried to say I'm not an elitist, but there's something to be said about.
I mean, they're really big. Look at them.
They are. But it's not
Great.
just that. I mean, look at what we've been dealing with in the time that we've been here. You have lies and polite insults to your face. You know, I'm used to and prefer a little bit more directness.
I expect my midnight prayer to be interrupted with more direct noises coming from your room. Is that what
Is
you
there
mean?
soundproofing available?
Just because you choose your right of celibacy with whatever god that you deal with, doesn't mean the rest of us do.
Exactly. You're meant to celebrate life, Kelraith. And what better way is there to do that than coming together in celebration loudly several times before you need to plunge into the reinvigorating waters. Maybe. I don't know. No.
That wine has you quite flush.
Mara's never known as the wordsmith, but frankly, she's trying to say that she can wherever she wants to, Kelraith, and she can be as loud as she wants to. So
That's what the good book does say.
for once, the knocking at least won't be coming from Caleb's door.
I won't miss that.
Yeah. Here's to a healthy stay, at least. We've made it this far. Even though we'll face our interconnected as always. We might as well enjoy the season. There'll be plenty of opportunity for bounty hunts, ice fishing, and trade. And as you can see, celebration as the entire bar is filled now. There's not a table that you can get between the poinsettias. They're just as healthy to experience what Galaadluuran has to offer as we do them. So whether you were prepared to go on this ride or not, you're here now. Any of you been to the Plane of Ice? Just curious.
My travels.
Most of
Coldest
my
place
travel-
I've ever been to is the mountain.
Mine tend to be filled with fire and brimstone in my past. Quite the opposite.
I mean, the boneyard isn't necessarily inviting, but it's not necessarily cold either. It just is.
What about you, Kumo? As Soon looks over and sees all your hair down over your ears and your mustache is a little bit tighter.
Kumo is holding on like a death grip on his hot green tea, and he's just stirring in. That's all he's doing. He's just stirring until you say his name. Huh? What? Sorry.
You ever been in the cold before?
No. This is enough. This is quite enough. And as he says it, if you're watching him, his hair grows like another ½ inch just to kind of cover his ears a little bit more. No, this is fine. This is cold enough.
We may.
That's so cool.
Before we leave.
Yeah, the island.
Are you?
The island was never this cold. It just never was.
Have you not experienced seasons?
Yeah, there's the rain and then there's sun. And then there's the morning when it's really bright and sunny, and then the afternoon when it just rains all afternoon. The monsoons? Oh yeah, every day.
Day? Oh.
But then, most of the year it's just sunny and it's great.
So you've never seen snow like this before?
No, but not like this. Not inside either. Like, I know it's not touching me, but ugh. Just makes me cold looking at it. Ugh.
We may have to get you some warmer clothes. I wouldn't trust a
handle a
potion
jacket?
if you have a warming one, Caleb. Maybe don't give anything like that to Kumo.
And he should just be able to make his own sweater. I've seen his room recently. He's got yarn everywhere.
What? You sew? Knit?
I mean, most of my people do a little bit of knitting from time to time.
No,
We
don't
can
be
also,
modest. He's a champion silksmith, if I say so myself.
Oh, well, you should see my brother. He's a lot better at it than me, but I'm pretty good. I can make some socks from time to time.
You should make underwear. Silk underwear is the greatest.
Silk underwear? Wouldn't it stick to you?
It's smooth. It doesn't ride up.
I could try.
You'll feel free.
Kumo's gonna try right there in front of everybody. He's gonna try to craft them, Just a pair of undies, like
For this?
Seiyun size undies.
With a ball hammock.
What does it look like in your human form when you spin this?
Where does it come from?
Yeah, where is it like coming out of your fingers?
I want
Like,
a description of
spit
where
it
you're.
out and
Explain how you silk yourself.
Kumo will like open his jacket and reach inside, and he'll just grab a thread and just kind of like look around and pull out the edge, and then he'll just start knitting with his fingers, and his fingers will extend into needles as he knits. And it'll just be coming like out of his jacket. If it's just coming out just from underneath.
I'll be honest, that's not what I expected.
I would have thought it would have come out of somewhere else myself. Quite good at it though.
Achoo!
Go.
Bring it up, and they'll be they'll be matching to your current garb color. I think I got the color about right. Does color even matter for this? I don't know.
That
They look about your size.
is awesome.
And then, because Kumo doesn't actually know what underwear is, he's gonna put it on your head. Does that work?
Kumo?
Yeah. Keeps it warm, right?
This goes underneath.
What goes underneath?
Sayuna is going to lean over and whisper in his ear what it actually does.
Oh, okay. Okay. They probably need leg holes then too, huh? Because what he fashioned you is just a silk hat. It's just like a toque or a beanie. There's no arms or holes or anything from it. Oh, okay. Let me think about that one, and I'll get back to you on it. I have to measure you a little bit for that.
Okay.
Making boxers at the table of the Luna. That's, mark that one for a first. But, not many of your kind have ever made it quite this far, so good luck using those. By the way, we're all expected to meet first expedition. I know that you may not trust me completely since what happened with Dresden at the last party, but please. We need to make ourselves as known as possible, especially now that Theros Galaadluuran has us marked. We'll be walking out on the ice within hours for the first ship to come across. At least that of the dignitaries, so please make yourself presentable, and if you're going to wear those boxers, don't show them to anyone else, please.
Oh no, I'll keep my robe closed.
Ezra gives you the thumbs up. Enjoy the rest of lunch. Whenever you've done here at the Luna, and someone will take your table precisely, meet me outside the Silver Veil. We'll make the long walk across.
Caleb.
Mentioning boxers, he does know that that is a hat, right?
What?
He made a hat.
Yeah. I had a conversation with him on what they were actually for. He's gonna fix it.
Oh,
He didn't know.
I was thoroughly confused at first, but figured he just changed his mind, made a hat.
I will say it was comfy on my head, but it's not what I want. It felt good on my fur.
Don't worry, you can keep that one. I'll make another one later.
Thank you, Kumo.
I'm just gonna keep practicing for a bit. I'm just gonna keep making squares and see if I can get this right. Because like cylinder squares, I don't know. This is kind of weird. But anyway, you guys wear whatever fashion you want. Kumo's gonna sit there and just keep knitting, just long squares. So he's just making scarves.
So, Caleb, if we have to talk to people, and outside of Ezra, I guess you would be the second most well-known person. I mean,
I'm kind of a big deal. People, although I'm not sure that people here, I don't think I'm famous for good reason at this point.
Holy moly!
It rolled.
it
rolled.
worked.
It
Holy
just worked.
It rolled.
Look at that
What-
salty face.
What, was it something simple?
I'm not ready to talk about it.
Oh no!
They just changed it. They just changed it.
There's something on his desk that was pushing down a key on his keyboard. That
No.
Right?
They changed the damn thing inside of the VTT and didn't let any of us know. There's no patch note. There's nothing. Feisty just found it buried inside of a literal metagame, but limit metagame information button.
Oh my god.
Oh, you
Feisty
didn't
for
check.
the win.
You didn't check
Feisty
there
for
first.
the win.
Feisty in the tech support. Nat 20.
Wow.
Yep, they just changed it and decided that's what that's what you should do. Wow.
You know, it'd be fun for our customer base if we just let them roll question marks for a while to see if they can figure it out.
The fact that he had to find it in like patch notes is nuts.
No, like it's
No,
we
it wasn't
didn't
a
have
patch
any
note.
patch notes. We
It's
just
him hunting through the fucking
Code.
the code.
Oh.
yeah, it's literally under metagame information, and they changed some settings around. Awesome.
That's so meta.
Yes, full of rage. Hey, it's done. Now I don't have to spend 3 hours after session trying to figure it out. Thank you, Feisty. You're a hero.
You're really famous, though, Caleb. Every time I talk about my friend Caleb, everyone knows who you are.
Oh. No, nobody. You didn't point me out at all, dude. Like,
Well, I told him exactly what room you're in, too. I'm like, yeah, I go visit my buddy all the time.
this explains a lot. The downside.
They said they were really interested in talking to you.
Downside of being so famous is all the fans. I try to. I need my privacy, so don't.
Oh, you don't want me. I'll make sure not to tell him anymore.
Thank you.
Any time, buddy.
As you all tend to your lunch at the Luna, undisturbed by guerrilla gangs, and taking in a bit of new scenery and new folk. Anything that you want to do before you meet Ezra out front?
Wanted to roll a d8.
Is that seven more pairs of
during lunch,
boxers?
There's 7 finished scarves, silken scarves. They're about 6 feet long each.
Oh, I'll take one.
I will
I
absolutely
might
take
want
one.
to see if they have Slightly warmer clothing if we're going out on ice.
Caleb's gonna take it, like wrap it around. Now he's, covering his face, just a little undercover action.
Just the eyes.
These are so soft. Great job, Kumo.
Thanks. We'll measure you when we get back to the end, and we'll figure out how they go on, and you can show me how everything has to work.
I bet Mara could show you how things work better than I could.
I mean, the quality of this is fantastic. I might need to commission an entire set for myself.
Oh yeah, I could do this. I mean, this is pretty easy. I used to do this at home all the time. Any of the little ones needed socks or, hats or anything when they're, bumping into the branches. It was really easy to do. But still, it's not as good as my brother's. My brother's work was amazing. He could put just the most amazing patterns. You could see your full face in his artistry.
I mean, Kumo, this is wonderful, though. Don't put yourself down.
I agree. It's exquisite craftsmanship. Have you done bed sheets before? I sleep like a baby on this, and I'm just rubbing my face on it. It's just so nice.
No, normally I just lay on the webbing that this is made out of. I don't normally stitch that together and finish it.
You might have a more successful market presence than Caleb if you had really tried. No one would return these.
No, it's flawless. There isn't even a drop stitch anywhere in here.
Well, thank you. It's nice to hear a compliment. That's my family was always pretty down upon it since I was, the youngest, and I never had the best work out of all my siblings. So then again, when you have 100 siblings, it's really hard to, be one of the top ones, right?
Yeah, that's normal.
What a family.
I mean,
100?
It's a small hatch. Yeah,
So-
I mean, great grandma had 300 in her main hatching.
Mara just chokes on her mulled wine.
And that was only
dinner.
I don't know, she had 2 dozen hatchings during her lifetime.
Wow.
Does your kind have a high mortality rate or something? I feel like you would have taken over the world by now. Those kind of numbers.
I mean, yes, we don't get along with the lizards and the lizard folk around my area. So yeah, there is a bit of that. I lost 20 of my siblings in just the first year. So
quite a lot of funerals to attend 1 year.
Yeah, but we also, we make parachutes out of this, and we catch the wind and we'll fly to another island too. So we do spread out a little bit as well. We don't all just stay at home. And some of us, have to take care of, what our ancestors left us. And my family, that's our job. So my family doesn't tend to leave, but all the other families and hatches and broods tend to expand and go out into the world. And I guess that's kind of why I haven't seen the snow. We just stayed at home. I mean, some of my kind of talked about it, but I've never seen it before.
I don't even know if I could handle 100 of me.
Don't think anyone could handle 100 of you, Sam.
I mean,
Imagine the fun I could have with Ezra.
Mara just pats Sayun on the shoulder, and that's something that you just think about and you don't do with Ezra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. Speaking of him, wasn't he waiting on us? How long have we been here?
It's been a while. We should probably go.
All of you
go
guys roll
downstairs.
perception checks. Nat 20 action.
Wow.
Sayun, you're the first one to notice. There's no Kazul to be found. Amongst the reverie, that extra scarf laying on the table jars your memory. It's supposed to be back by now.
Hold up. Weren't we waiting on Kazul before we went?
Yeah.
This plate's not even been touched.
No, remember Kumo had said they read a book and then he did what did you say, Kumo? He was doing something.
I remember him saying something about he got what he needed. He understood now. But that's it. That's the last I remember. I'm sorry, the last couple weeks I was kind of preoccupied. I wasn't really paying great attention to him. I wasn't being a good friend.
Now that I think about it, I don't think I went to go see him during those past 2 weeks either.
About a week ago, I think, is when we finished the book.
Did he mention anything at all out of the ordinary, or that you can remember?
No, I mean, he's Kazul. Not really.
What kind of book
There's
was
some-
it, Kumo?
One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish?
Do creatures like him fish? Would he potentially be out on the ice?
I just thought it'd be good for all the different colored insects and bugs he had in his hair.
You think he could be in his room?
Is any...
Should we check on him before we go?
I need to get my rifle. I kind of left it behind. I wasn't really thinking. We're not talking right now, but we should go back and take a look.
Yeah, we need to get ready if we're going out on the ice with Ezra.
Did you just say you're not talking right now with your rifle?
Yeah. He finally talked to me. But not since we fought the gorilla. My family takes care of the rifle and the different artifacts of our ancestors. The rifle's actually a piece of one of my ancestors.
Interesting.
There's some part of him still in there. And so when he talked to me, I thought he finally was accepting me, since my sister didn't take care of him. But he hasn't talked since then, not once. I don't know if he's accepting me or just thought I was too weak to survive that. Gorilla that we fought.
Kumo,
Yeah.
is it my staff? Ragdia speaks to me through it from a different plane. Is it similar to that?
I guess. Different plane or some type of leftover essence. I'm not sure. I wasn't trained to be this. I was a janitor. That's what I was trained to be. I was supposed to clean the temples. I wasn't meant to interact with the artifacts or take care of them. That was my sister's job as the oldest. But all she wanted to do was leave the island. And so I don't know. I wasn't trained in this. I couldn't see him forgotten about and left behind as I cleaned. So I grabbed him and dashed. That's kind of why I'm here, why I've been running. My family's gonna be really mad. And I'm not really sure how much trouble I'm going to be in if I ever go back home.
So you stole him?
Oh. I didn't want him forgotten about. If you are left and forgotten, my understanding is then you can actually die and truly die. And I don't want him to be forgotten and lost. I don't even know his name. That's why I've been trying to talk to him, is find out what his name is. All I know is he's one of the giant Andani from my family's past. And I want to get to know him. And I want to make sure that as my ancestor, he's not forgotten.
Sounds like a noble task.
Well, I'm usually good at hitting things, but I'm pretty good at talking to people that aren't here too. Maybe I can help you.
Yeah?
For me, it's a little different because I know exactly where I have to go to talk to them. Maybe if we put our heads together, I can help you.
I'd like that. I would like to find out more about where I came from and who my people are, other than just, taking care of the temple and cleaning and brushing out leaves. I feel there's more to life than just that. There's this place. There's you guys. Look at all of you. You're so different. I'm so used to just seeing hundreds of my kind and not this difference that's around us. This is wonderful. But I also want to know, where my people came from. There's got to be more than just cleaning out and watching a few gain the ability to talk to our ancestors. I want that. I want all of us to be able to know who our ancestors are.
I agree. Speaking to those that aren't with us anymore, it's almost like they're still here, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's even things I gotta learn. I'm not even half as good as Kelwraith is, as he looks at him to acknowledge he can tell what you do in your prayers. I always said he reminded me of my grandpa. And now you got yours with you. People that influence us like that, it's good to keep them close. Keeps you in line. Lord, Ragda knows I need that.
Is that why your stick is so straight? Make sure you always stay on the line.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a reminder always at hand.
Speaking of losing people, we should really check on Kazul.
You can check his room, make sure he didn't leave anything behind. I gotta grab that rifle. I should have
I'm
left
pretty
it
sure
up there.
Ezra's waiting.
It's true.
As you all finish your meals, grab your famous to-go cups and head back to pick up Kumo's rifle and to check on Kazul. As you guys make your way back, the door to his room is slightly ajar. And as you all push that door open, the humidity of the room hits you. And two green eyes light up, and then a third. And that is where you guys will pick up next week with Mr. Kazul and what is in his room.
I don't want to go in there. I don't want to go in there.
his room.
You get to find out.
I already know it's Sam Fisher.
Yeah, 3 green eyes. Yeah. Yeah.
He
Good
Kazul
old
all over his
PlayStation
room.
games.
Well, we have everything set up and ready to go. Even though we didn't get a full session in, at least you guys got
Hell yeah, some RPs on the table.
some RP
baby.
in.
It was some great RP.
Some
Does
silk
you-
underwear, some a little bit of everything.
As soon as you said it was humid in there, I just pictured Sayun's fur just blow out.
Little puffball.
Yes. We will join everyone next week with a full, proper session. Everybody take care of themselves. We will see you guys tomorrow for big announcements. Take care, everybody.
That's right.
What's going on, everybody? CaptainRoBear and crew here for Merry Questmas. Folly at the Frostfall, a charity D&D one-shot with 2 episodes with a lovely new cast here. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
We got a $7 million bull rider. We appreciate your commitment to the cause as always, Sam.
Forever and always, baby.
But we must welcome some folks for the first time on my channel and the first time to get to sit down at a table together. What's going on, everybody? CaptainRoBear and crew here for episode 1 of Galaadluuran. Welcome, 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 welcome.
Yay!
Good to be back.
We're back! It's Sunday.
It's good to be back. The sun is down. All is right. Tech goblins have been vanquished once the sun went down. We had our fair share today, but we have persevered. We have done essentially our session 0 while fixing everything else. But we are here and ready to freaking go. Mixed Up Bot will be here in a second. The overlay animations are not on this overlay yet, but they will be soon. But you'll still be able to see the rolls over in Twitch chat, and they will go to the Streamloots log in there. So we'll be able to take care and make sure folks get cards. As we've talked about in the other campaigns, we're only going to be having one hand from here on out. So it's all going to go to the party. No one's going to have to tag any names onto it. It's going to go into one big pile, and we're going to use them from there.
Oh yeah.
One big hand.
Oh yeah.
Got big hands.
You know how to use them. Make sure, everyone, since you guys are back in action and again, make sure you guys have your microphone set 3 inches away from your face so everybody can hear you when you speak. It will be essential.
Hello, check.
As everyone pulls their mic that's slowly fallen to the floor because you all have trash stands. It's okay.
So,
Not me. Mine always stays in the same spot.
You know what? Hyroa, for once, your setup perseveres everyone else and their $15 Amazon mic arm that can't hold a bag of potato chips up.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
I'm good to go.
Zero's like, I'm a professional streamer. Quit treating me like this.
you got him right.
I don't need this abuse.
I don't need this crap.
I got my OC white stand based upon recommendation from radio. What could go wrong with it?
Oh, thanks for being patient with us. We appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy. We have a new format that's a bit more immersive. So I hope that it pays dividends. And you guys enjoy it as much as I think you will.